Hi guys, part two and the end of wonderful Christina. Christina's now going to do a bit of a monologue from her play. So I'm going to mute myself and let Christina go for it. Over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Andy. So this monologue is a monologue I wrote while we were workshopping Playfight. Unfortunately, it didn't make it into the play, but I'd like to share it all with you because this was one of the very, very first seeds of the play that we now have. Okay. Sunday mornings used to be quiet. Usually I spend it at home, just sitting in my front room, watching TV and listening to my neighbours leave and then return from church. I don't know them, not personally. I nod and wave every now and then, but we're not on a first name basis. They're a family of 4. He works in the city somewhere and she stays at home, doting on her 2 kids. The little girl is about 5, always in pigtails, skipping off to school. Her chirpy laugh carries all the way up the street. She's a sweet little thing. Their older son is different. He's about 15, 16 maybe. He used to be like his sister, laughing, smiling, always walking his mother to the front door with an arm slung protectively over her. It made my heart clench. Mothers and their sons. They seemed to live separate lives, but Sunday mornings, 9 a.m., like clockwork, they left the house. Marching down the street in their smart suits or pretty dresses, banded together. But something changed. Whether it was overnight or over a period of time, I couldn't tell you, but living alone, you notice the smallest of noises, especially when your living room is probably wall to wall with theirs. Dulcet tones mixed with muffled screeching, an occasional sentence. Why are you doing this to your mother? Look at her. Someone shouts. I think it's the boy. I didn't do anything. You never believe me. Just messing around. A sob, a soft mumble, and then the dulcet tones grows deeper and louder until it crescendos into a sharp thump. Someone had been struck. Who? The mother? The boy? The father? That sweet little girl, I'm sure of it. She starts sobbing. More muffled yelling. Damn these walls. A door slam. Peeking from my window, I see the son, flipping a hood over his head, shoving his hands into his pockets as he strides furiously down the street. I went to bed at about 2 a.m. that night. He never returned before then. I would have heard. Sunday mornings, they went about their business, but he wasn't with them. 4 became 3. About 2 months later, after they'd left, I set about my usual routine of doing nothing. I began making myself a cup of tea, just for the hell of it, when all of a sudden, thump, thump, thump. I drop the teacup. It shatters at my feet as the front door shakes, rattling off the hinges. There's a tall, dark silhouette pressed against the frosted glass. A hand bangs on the window, wiping a smear of red paint. No, that's not paint. That's... Good God, is that blood? Help me, a rasping voice desperately calls through the door. Help me, please. I'm hurt. I've never felt fear before. Not properly. Not until this very moment. Part of me wants to open the door, drag the person inside and call the police. But another smaller, cowardly part of me wants to crawl into my room and hide. I have nothing to do with this. This isn't my business. I shouldn't be getting involved. What if it's a trap? The silhouette drags himself away from my door. I run upstairs to the upstairs window where I have a clear view of the street. It's a young man, a boy. He staggers forward, falling to his knees in the middle of the road. I squint a little. It's the boy from next door, the one who should be at church with his family, not lying in the road bleeding to death. To death? Why can't I move? I yearn to run into the road, gather the boy into my arms and cradle him until his mother arrived, but I can't. A car slows down, pulling over. The driver, a young woman, rushes out towards the boy and begins checking him over. She begins doing all the things I couldn't do. The people flock towards them. I can't see anymore. They're whipping out their phones, but they're not calling the police. They're taking pictures of the dying boy. Are they any worse than me? I see the 3 most important people before the rest of the crowd does. First, the little girl tears across the road, her pink dress flapping behind her. The woman, her mother, his mother, pulls her away, cutting into the tight circle. They part for her like the Red Sea. The woman drops to her knees beside the boy. She throws her head back and screams. Like part of her body, her soul has been torn from her. Because it has. It's a scream that shatters through my own heart, and another feeling gnaws away at me. Guilt. Mothers and sons. The father is surprisingly calm. He gathers the remnants of his family and helps them to the house. I wince as I hear the door slam and the muffled voices. I don't dare press my ear against the wall. I've lost that right. The crowd begins to disperse, shaking their heads, wiping their eyes, exchanging gossip. They're too wrapped up in their own world to notice the red smear against my window pane. I wait until nightfall, and then I carefully wipe it off. No matter how loud I turn up the TV or let the taps run that extra bit longer, I can't seem to drown out that sound of her, the little girl who can't understand why this happened. And I had just wiped her brother's blood off my front door like it was a bit of leftover jam at the breakfast table. I'm disgusted with myself. I am. It didn't surprise me when they left. One evening, they traipsed out of their house with the rest of their lives crammed into a small van. This is the last time I'll watch them leave. 4 and now 3. I hope their new neighbours treat them kinder than we ever did. Their replacements aren't church-going people. Sunday mornings are quiet again.
Fantastic, absolute tremendous stuff, like Christina. Like it, how did that feel? Obviously, when you're looking back at that now for yourself, obviously, and that didn't make the play. So what I've seen in the play, that's quite a dramatic scene. That really.
Yeah. So initially, our workshops was I was just asked to write scenes, no gender, no characters, just scenes A and B. And a lot of the scenes I wrote did make it into the play. They became characters, but this one didn't because it was from an outsider's perspective. And when I was writing the workshops, I wanted just one outsider's perspective, and it was a monologue, and it was this one. But the producer, Sharina, said that it moved her to tears, and
Well,
we really
just about to me nearly then as well. Wow.
I was moved to tears writing it as well. I just kind of felt like how we are watching things. A story. It's meant to be a story about the family, and Playfight kind of sees it inside the family or inside these kids, but this is from an outsider's perspective of the kids. And yeah, it's a shame it didn't make it in, but the reason why is because it's from an outsider's perspective, and it helped though. It helped a lot with them getting the characterizations going and crafting those characters that kind of see.
Yeah, of course. Like I say it straight away with it, it's like it's that sort of piece where sometimes you need something like that. It's like to say, don't you, like when you look at a DVD extra, don't you, on films, the scenes that have been cut, they were really good by themselves. They don't always quite fit into the film stand. I know it was excellent piece of it. So good luck, Christina, with the film script. And obviously, like I said, people keep an eye on it, because who knows what's going to happen next year. I'm prepared to put money on Brad Pitt gets the lead role in your film, to be honest with you.
Oh, that'd be great. That would be great.
Now, I've got to ask you all serious, less seriously before we wrap up today. Okay. Dream casting. If you could have anybody in this little script, who would you have?
In this one?
Yeah.
Oh,
in your film, in a potential film, yeah.
Oh, in a potential film?
Yeah. Or yeah. Your TV script or film script, yeah.
Any TV script? Oh gosh. I would love to have Jodie Comer in something.
Oh, yeah.
And she just disappears into a role. And I'd love to work with her. That would be great.
Right, well, better find Jodie's agent and ask for this podcast over to her. No, seriously, Christina, good luck with it. Keep in touch.
Thank you.
Let me know if anything happens with this, because if it ends up coming onto TV or film, I would love to get you on again.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, if I can say I'm responsible for getting an actor onto your play in Peckham Fringe, Jodie Comer, please get in touch with her. Definitely, hint. But Christina, hang around anyway. I do need to chat to you off microphone anyway, as always. So it's been a pleasure today. Been grateful.
Thank you.
Take care, guys and girls. This is Andy N and Christina signing out. See you all soon.